Okay, I removed them 2 bolts. They were in a stud holding that bracket on. We're going to move the television above the refrigerator here. And if you recall, I put a stud from center to center and I put it in flat. So I'm going to put some big bolts in here, some GRKs, get that cover put on, get the television mounted. We're going to use these. That's going to catch some meat. We're going through 3/4 plywood and 1.5 inch material. It's going to hold pretty good. I was going to put up a new TV bracket, but this works great. I don't see any reason for changing it. The only thing I did, I drilled them holes out a little larger, and I'm going to be putting a larger bolt in. I'm going to be using a GRK instead, and I'm going to put this in. These babies are going to hold, they hold a lot of weight, structural screws, and I'll be able to get them back out. The ones that were in that other wall over there were Phillips, and the first try snapped a bit off right inside the screw. Had to get that out, and then Dawson helped me, and we pushed and tugged on it. We got it out of there. So we're going to put in a better screw, one that's going to hold some weight. And the television was quite dusty, so I'm going to take that in and dust it off, vacuum it, and maybe take some compressed air and blow out the fins because it's got some drywall dust on it and stuff. And let's get this bracket up. I marked the center right here, and the TV is going to be up quite high, and it'll hang down and then tilt back and forth, that kind of thing. So I'm going to mount this up like this high. I'll just set a screw right in there and go. So I pre-drilled the hole. Gonna set her right in there and crank her down. There, she cranked right up nice and tight, and I pulled this center bolt out, and I'm not gonna be able to get a drill on it, so I'm gonna use a hex key. I'll go grab one. All right, I got the television up here. Now I'm just gonna put the long bolt in and the slip washers and tighten her down. All right, there it is. So now that gets us so, well, hold this a second, Dawson. See, this way we can turn the television right around. We can push it back, get it out of the way. We can go over here with it. It's really adjustable anywhere, and I didn't want it sticking out past the cabinet. That would look foolish way out here. So having a mount like this, I love it. I think it's going to work great. So if I want to watch YouTube and I'm doing dishes or something, I can see it. And if we're sitting over at the bar, I just turn it this way. So now I just got to clean the screen, plug it in, get some zip ties on it, on the wires, get them cleaned up, get a cover on that outlet back there. We're all set. All right, got my outlet cover on, got my Alexa voice plugged in, got my cord plugged in. I just got to go get some black zip ties. I want to get this cleaned up, and so you don't see them. Not important at this moment. We're still going to touch up some paint up in there anyway, probably. So I got to clean the screen. All right, that was the idea. Getting the television off that wall, which would be awkward to turn around and get it over here. In this case, it'll turn. We could see it out on the patio if you want to watch NASCAR or something. And here we're watching Work with Kevin. Remember to like and subscribe. He's on that kitchen remodel. I wish he'd hurry up and get it done. But this is right here at the sink. I think this is going to be great. I can see the news. I can see YouTube. And then once we're over here in the bar area, it's going to be over on this side. You're going to be sitting right about here. So I think that's going to be great. It's a good spot. What else do you do above the fridge? If you had one of them bridge cabinets like I used to have, I never put anything in it because you can't reach it in a small area anyway. So good spot for the television. Look at that messy kitchen. Clean it up. Well, the boss is in here cracking the whip, telling me get this kitchen cleaned up, get it back in order, finish up the job. Right, squirrel? Huh? So the cabinet pulls came in. Revent. They're 6-inch, 375 centers on the hole, and I needed 37. I got a 40 pack. Nice heavy screws. There's your cut marks for your double front. Welcome, thank you. And what we're going to do is figure out where we're going to want them mounted, like on the cabinets, on the doors. I'm going to want them centered. I got to figure out how high up I'm going to want them. I'd like them easy to reach with, you know, if your hands are kind of full with stuff, it's nice to have this little piece off the end. I put my finger on instead of putting your whole hand in. A woman, if she had rings on and they have to put their hand in, you know the cabinet's going to get nicked up after a while. And these are black. They offered stainless and black, and Dawson thought the black would look good because we've got stainless black going on. So I think they would look good. So I got a couple templates. One of them's a smaller one here I used on the last kitchen. So we just got to find the right hole. I don't know what these are, but we got to have 375, and we just line it up, bring it up into place, drill our holes. If the holes aren't handy, I'll drill holes into this. And what I want to make sure is the back of the handle doesn't have a screw that touches. It's got to be inset. So this larger one is for the doors, the drawers. I can't say it. The drawers. So I find my center point, and there's a mark there. So I'll put a little pencil mark, something I can wipe off, line it up on that mark, find our two spots and drill through. And in this case, we're going to be doing a double front. Make sure you go through both. That really stiffens up the box. And let's open up the handle and see where it lines up. I got some biscuits I made there, and I'm making a chili. Ooh, frock us up. Simmering a chili today, and for the biscuits, my brother got me some strawberries, so we're gonna make some shortcake later. We got our handles we're gonna open. They seem pretty good quality. And we set them on our template. I don't know if you can read that. It says 3 inch, 2.5, 2s, whatever. The last handles I done, it must have been a 3 inch. So we just line up our holes like that. See where they line up. I'll put a little marker on that so I know where I'm drilling. And we pre-drill the holes. And I'll probably do either a center punch or probably a center punch. You can drill right through your template, and the problem with that is what you see here is it ruins your template after a bit. You run them in and out. So I'll go out and get that kind of tools around. But I think that's going to be kind of attractive on here. Got a little snow last night again. We had 70, and then the next day we get a little snow. So I'll figure out where I want to be. Obviously, we got to be above the rail of the cabinet. Oh, I'll figure that out. And I think I'm going to want these centered on the style and get it in, you know, the proper location. But it'll be real easy to hook your finger and pull that without putting your whole hand in the handle. All right, we'll start over here, I guess. This drawer is 29.5. So the center be 14 3/4. I'll put a light mark. That'll be the center of our cabinet. We can wipe that right off. Now this, we have to find, we can read it, the 3 3/4. And here's 3, here's 4. So it has to be this one. And we're going to take our handle, and I've started 2 screws in it. And what I did is I turned them all the way in to bottom out by hand. And I set them up here because we have a double front looking straight down. It looks like it's going to almost touch, but not. That means the knob will be loose. So in this case, we probably have to put 2 pliers on that, hold it still, and they say you can snap that off. I did bring in a nail puller that is almost like a Well, I also got these dikes you can cut them off with, lineman pliers. Just cut that off. If you booger it up a little bit, you can probably screw a nut on there first and then hit it in the grinder a little bit, just so you don't have a sharp edge. Make that a little bit shorter, but I don't want to cut them yet. But what I want to do is put them on here to confirm and what hole it would be in, you know, or just measure to confirm. We'll go on a solid number, and it's 3 3/4. Go on a solid number. You can hold it. And 3 3/4. So it is that mark. Now we need to know the height. We're 6 3/4 on the drawers. So we want the handle not low, not high. I want it in the center. And so we're going to measure half of that. And then I'm going to get my marker. It's hard for me to see that, but they should have done this in lighter plastic color like this one. And then I'll put a little mark on that. And so I know where it's going to go. And then I'll get I'll get a couple different tools. So I measured over. That's my mark. I line this up. I put an X on our holes. It's not exactly in the center. I wanted one at 3 3/8. It's going to end up being just under 3 3/8, a little over 3 1/4. It's an odd spot to put the hole, which means I can't drill another hole right next to it without messing up the other one. And then I've got a center punch, which is probably too big. You see that? I can't feel that. I don't want to bash that out. And I've got a scratch awl, which is also too big that I can grind sharper. Then I got this little Harbor Freight pick that looks like it'll fit. It'll fit. So all I have to do is locate the center and then line it up on my center mark, which is this hole right here, and come through the front and just poke. So maybe I'll go grab a hammer and give it a love tap, and I'll just tap in that hole, and that'll be where we drill. All right, I've got my little guide here. It's a 5/32 hole, and because it's not a perfect world, we don't want to do a 5/32 hole. I'm going to go up one size. In this case, 2 sizes, only because my drill set doesn't have that size. But we're going to go up to 3/16, and what that's going to do is guarantee that when we go to screw it on there, if I drill on a slight taper or something, the hole will still line up. So even though I'm going to try to do it perfectly level. And then we just set our mark on. And well, I don't like that. Let me flip it over. It fits better on that side. So I'm going to have to remark it. This was in the toolbox. It probably got some weight pushed on it. It's not real flat now. Always something. So I'll remark that on the opposite side. Well, my helper came in. Dawson's out there working on the rock wall because part of it fell over the winter, didn't it?
Yep.
Some of the stones tipped. So this is warped, so I'm just going to have him press this in. Otherwise, I should make a new one or buy a new one. But I'm going to line up on our center mark right there, and then you press in. We'll let this close. You got her? If he holds it like that, and move your elbows. If I can come down to our mark, and we've got there and there, those two match up. So I'll just go like this, go straight in, put a mark, straight in, put a mark. All right. Now we got 2 little marks. Okay, we're going to use a 3/16 bit. I might have to go out and get a different kit because the one for wood that I want is not in this kit, it figures, right? Let's see if this drill's okay. So there and there. I'm just going to start it. It's actually pretty sharp. And then my assistant will hold this. I'm going to go all the way through. Watch your elbow. And then I'm going to hold her level. See, I didn't get split out, did I? We don't want tear out. Nice. And I've got my portable vac. I'm going to suck all the chips out and check out our screws. You see, that might be too long. See, it starts on the second, I don't know if you can see that, the second step of screw. So we'll take the handle, poke her through just to check it. And then our second screw. Pretty sure we're going to have to cut off one tip. I thought it would work, but we got to cut off one tip. Let me tighten this down and see how loose it's going to be. Hold on. So now let's see if it'll tighten up. I'm not going to go crazy because I don't want to spin it out. Well, we might get lucky, guys. Check that out. Hey, Dawson. Looks like it's going to work. I thought we might have to break it off, but I just threaded it in by hand. So what do you think? Think we made a good choice on that? You still in here? Guess he went back out. Check that out. But see, what I was talking about is women with rings, men wear them too, but mostly women with like a diamond or something sticking up, a stone, might chip the edge of this by going in there so often. And then if you come in like this, you can also just open it like this. My only concern was if you had a belt loop or something, if you come around, will you open a door and get hooked on it? But I do like that. So I think what we'll do is we'll jump up and we'll do a door also right above it. And that'll give us an idea what it's all going to look like. So I lined up the pole. The last opening on the door would go like this. The center of this is actually over just a biscuit more, but there's no drilled opening. And it figures. So sometimes it's useful to make your own template, but hear my chili sizzling away? Check that out. And then, what do you think of that, Dawson? Does that look good to you being in right there? Or should it be out farther? There is no other hole. That's the only one for this size handle in this template. So none of these other holes line up on this little template. I could make another one. Or if I went over just a biscuit farther, it's going to make this thing so weak that it'd be useless. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use it. I'm going to try the center punch because this hole is larger. And this is a little bit thicker, like I could probably drill right through it. But let's try the center punch. See if that works. Beautiful. Look at that. So now let's drill that out. And then you always open your cabinet. Nice. No tear out. And now what we have to do for sure is the doors are only 3/4 of an inch thick. See how many we got sticking out? That we're going to have to break off probably 3 of them. So if you hold this, probably, I'm going to try this first. You got your notches, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to try to nick that screw right off. Watch me not be able to do it. Oh yeah. So now we look at that, and that's not terrible. Let's see if I can thread it in there. And I can. Cool. So let's try that one. See if it's long enough or I messed it up. Ooh. Check it out. Let's take screw number 2. He's getting messy. Need my vacuum out. We'll take and go 1, 2, third one again. Look at that. Yeah, so my brother gave me strawberries, and I made some Bisquick biscuits. We're going to have some strawberry shortcake, and I made a chili, but instead of chili beans, I put kidney beans in it, and a lot of peppers and onions. So, and Dawson likes a lot of meat. There's 2.5 pounds of ground beef in that. His only complaint when I make spaghetti sauce or something is like, put a little more meat in it. And I got my clutch turned down so I don't over tighten and spin them out. You probably could put Loctite on these, but I'm not going to do that unless we have an issue. And if they loosen up eventually, I'll put Loctite on them. So, what do you think of that? Check it out. Getting some jewelry on. Dawson thought the stainless would be too much silver going on. And we got a black face on the microwave and stove, and a couple of the appliances like that little coffee pot and toaster's black. So I think the black looks pretty good. And of course the black's not going to show fingerprints unless you got flour on you. So that's it, man. I'm just going to go right out and around, and I'm going to do all of them like that. And the only ones we're not going to do right now is the bar, because we got 2 more cabinets that we're not going to bring in until the hardwood floor is finished. This smells so good, I'm going to want to try it. I had it simmering for quite a while. Check it out. Peppers, onions, kidney beans, tomatoes, ground beef. It's got garlic salt, pepper, chili powder, red pepper, chili pepper. What else? There's probably more I'm forgetting. Definitely garlic in there. That's going to be good stuff. Little snack for lunch. Dawson's out doing a project. I'll take him out a bowl. I went around and I drilled all the holes for the doors and the drawer pulls. That speeds it along. And now I'm going to go ahead and put the handles on. And in the package was a bag of long bolts and a bag of short bolts. So I don't have to cut the drawers. It's all, or for the doors, they're all set. So I'll go ahead and get them put on. Be a lot quicker. Well, there we have it. What do you think? Really sets it off nice, don't it? We were wondering if the handles were too large or not, but I don't think so. I think what I like about them is you can come in here and just hook the bottom with a finger, or you can put your hand in. And you could probably throw a towel over that. So now what I got to do is just wipe off my pencil marks. That project's done. I got 9 left, so I got enough to do the 2 bar cabinets. But they're looking pretty good. And then, you know, we got to start on the outlet, bring them out, get the covers put on. We got to, the boxes are adjustable. Let's turn the screw, bring them out. What else? We got to repair this wall where the TV was. Now it's up out of the way. I've got to do this light, figure out where we're going to put the bar cabinets to extend the 3 pendant lights. I hear Dawson's wheeler out there. He's been working on it today. I'm going to go out and see what he's doing. put a battery disconnect. He had battery trouble, wouldn't start, so he don't ride it, you know. That's a 750. That thing moves. Little backfire. I told him to put his helmet on. It says the air is cold today. It's only like 20 out here. Are you warm enough?
Yeah.
You should throw your coat on. Does it work good?
Oh yeah.
20 hours you got on there. You got 2600 odometer, and then I think you click the mode, you get hours, right?
That's my
trip miles, trip, 576 hours. Not too bad. And the tires on that thing. I told him the next thing he's got to do is extend like a front, what do you call it, like a cowl panel, like extend the bar out front, because he cracked some plastic when he went with his friends in the woods and they hit some branches and things. So I'll get a protection up there. But your winch works now?
Yeah.
Everything's good. And I see you got the proper shoes on. What'd you do today?
That's what we installed today, the battery disconnect switch. And that's got everything on it, the light bar, the winch, everything.
And your new battery, right? Lithium.
Yeah, lithium. This is one of the best batteries they make.
So hopefully he won't have it dead. Every time he goes to use it, it don't start, and he's getting annoyed, so he don't ride it.
13.3.
What's that?
Like
Oh yeah, it came out of the box mailed 13.3 volts, and I've never had that. I get 12.6 if I'm lucky. So it's gonna work good for him. Do a little riding, but we're gonna do something with the hitches on these. I think we're gonna do an extension on the hitches so that he can haul the little trailer we got, so we can pick up some sticks and branches. Gotta move some wood chips, some firewood. So got a little work for it, don't we? Nice machine. So back to the kitchen. So I'm pretty happy with this so far. Let me know in the comments what you think. We've got our under cabinet lighting in. I did order a couple more, so we're going to be able to put one under every single cabinet. That'll light up the bar spaces. And then I told you what we got to do. We got to do the hardwood. This ugly floor's got to go. Got to paint that door. I got to figure out what I want to do with that door. I don't think I want that color, so we'll pick a color. I might do gray. Who knows? Gray might be a good idea. And so follow along in the channel. Throw some comments in there. Like I said, I'm thinking about doing like a little shelf here. We can put some trinkets on. A little shelf over here to put a little plant like that. And, you know, spruce it up. Maybe a hanging plant. Or I got one of them tall corn type plants. Maybe I can bring one out here, put a little greenery in the room. Probably put my couple pictures on this wall. Kind of spruce it up, get some color in here. I've got some, I don't know if I want shade block. I don't know what kind of curtain type things I want to hang, but I want to put a couple in there. Possibly in the summer months, we get a little bit of sun near sunset and it's pretty bright. So I probably want to do something. I'm not sure we're going to put the door. I have one of the big valance things that go there. I'm not sure I'm going to put that back in place or not. I'm not sure. Maybe, who knows. So, hey, follow along. We're going to go on to the next step. So, see you soon.